Welcome to the Cottage Labs Introduction to SWORD 2.0, a protocol based on AtomPub for communicating between a server and a client for depositing scholarly content. So the first thing you want to do when you're putting content on the server is ask where to put it. And to do that, we ask for something called a service document, which gives us back a list of collections available on the server. Now from that list, I can then select a collection and post to it a package of content that I want the server to accept. What the server is going to do with that is unpack it, create me an object, and into it put the metadata and the files that I've sent it, and give me back a deposit receipt. And that deposit receipt is basically an atom entry. Inside that atom entry, there are three URIs which are particularly useful. There's the edit URI, the edit media URI, and the statement URI. And these are the things we're going to use to interact with the server. So the first thing we can do is do a get on the edit URI, and that basically represents the container, and I get back the deposit receipt, which is what I previously was looking at. If I do a get on the edit media URI though, I get back instead a package of the content that's on the server, possibly in a zip file. Whereas if I do a get on the statement URI, I get back a document which basically describes the structure of the object on the server. It allows us to build a representation of the object at the client end, and this is particularly useful. But if I want to change that representation, then what I actually need to do is change the content on the server. And one of the ways I can do that is I can put a new package onto the edit media URI. And what this is going to do is actually remove all of the content that's already on the server inside the container and replace it with a whole new set of content. So same object, new content. And I get back a deposit receipt for doing that. The other thing I can do is I can post another package to the edit URI. And this results in the adding of new content to the container. And I get back a deposit receipt for doing that too. Finally, I can delete content from the server. If I delete from the edit media URI, I actually delete all of the content from the container and I get back a deposit receipt. But if I delete to the edit URI, I delete the entire object. There's no content there at all. And that was SWORD 2.0 in a nutshell from Cottage Labs. Thank you for listening.